I can't read your mind. Life is too old to be playing these games. I'm not interested in being controlled. I don't want a narcissist. I don't want a controlling man that's telling me, who did you go on a date with? Who is your top? I'm still going to talk to Jamario. I'm still going to talk to Blue. Our ages.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Okay, guys, a quick little breakdown. I've got a few reviews coming out in a few minutes as well for you guys. But before I go on my little run, I want to talk a little bit about this particular scene here with Jefferi, Suan, and Blake, the triangle that isn't really a triangle, but ended up being a triangle of madness on the latest episode. I want to be very, very clear here. I do get a little bit tired of hearing this word narcissism, right? Because I feel like it becomes this cop out for a lot of people, and I'm talking specifically about the women. No offense, ladies. I gotta speak to you today. We tired, okay? It's not every man that treats you wrong or doesn't fulfill the standard that you want or doesn't always get things right with you is a narcissist. Now, I'm not saying there aren't narcissists out there, and there really are some narcissists out there, but it's not every single guy like who does something wrong or is not great that ends up being a narcissist. So let's chill on that a little bit. That's all I'm trying to say. But listen, we're going to talk a little bit more. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification on the up lows. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. We're going to be talking to you guys about Ready to Love and talking specifically about Blake, especially as well, and Suan and Jefferi. And we're going to break that all the way down. Okay, so we're gonna break it all the way down. Listen, look, this particular episode, it's been brewing because obviously we've had Blake and Jefferi situation from last week, and now we've got Suan involved. And I want to be very, very clear. I'm not saying that Blake cannot be a narcissist, because I honestly, I'm not saying that can't be the case. He certainly could be the case, just like DeMario could be, just like Anthony could be. Any of these guys could be. So I'm not saying that anybody isn't a narcissist. What I'm saying is I think we need to be slower in how we label people. And the problem I have also is that we use this word because it is, one, quote unquote, a buzzword, but two, y'all don't know any other words in terms of describing behavior. There's a whole spectrum of words that describe different types of behavior that we see on our screen. And that's my issue. Everyone becomes a narcissist for toxic behavior. If something's toxic, just call it toxic. Let's leave it there. If somebody's toxic, let's just call them toxic rather than saying they're a narcissist, because it's narcissism. If you really are a narcissist, there ain't no coming back. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, if you research narcissism, the people who are narcissists, it's very difficult to come back, right? There is no cure for narcissism, right? They've told us there's no cure for I mean, they told us this anyway, but there's no cure for narcissism. So I'm saying to you, like, before we label someone a narcissist, let's be very careful, because you can't come back from that. Once somebody's a narcissist and they're diagnosed specifically as well, we are all in trouble. Okay. But we can talk about some real stuff. We can talk about some real stuff about this particular episode. So, I think what I saw with the Jefferi, Suan, and Blake situation, like I said, I'm going to do some separate videos so you can break it down in more detail. But I think what I did see with the Blake and Sue, I can see how Jefferi can be annoyed in this situation, and I can see how Blake can also be annoyed in the situation between the two of them, right? I saw things on both sides. I was like, ooh, okay. All right. So there's obviously we get a little bit of Blake approaching Jefferi.
So you're hurt and you're disturbed, but yet you can't bring up the things that you're hurt.
Being that I wasn't there, being that I was not there.
Okay.
There are some things that I've heard.
Okay, are you ready to reveal that or no?
Now, of course, of course, Blake pulled Jefferi aside to have a conversation, which was fine, right? You want to have a conversation with Jefferi, absolutely go for it. We love to see it. Go pull her aside and have that chat, go upstairs, and etc., right? The problem was, already before he even started, Jefferi had an attitude. Jefferi had an attitude already before, before we even got there, because when he started talking to her, when he pulled her for a chat to say, let me talk to you, what happened was she said, and he said, let's go upstairs. She's like, why do we have to go upstairs? And I was like, oh, okay, well, we've already started with the energy, which I also do understand her point of view, because when she goes upstairs, everybody's upstairs. I didn't get it. like I was like, yeah, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Both sides. I was like, okay, you're mentioning why we gone upstairs, you know, abruptly when you know he wants to have a conversation with you, and then I'm looking at it too, like, yo, when we get upstairs, why is everybody upstairs? Why do we not choose a more quieter place to have a conversation about the situation we just had? So I saw both people's sides. I was like, I don't like the context of the arena you put her in, and I don't like also the fact that for her too, you know, that she was already making little comments already before we even got to the conversational piece, right? So that's already happening. Then they finally sit down and they're about to have this discourse. And he starts off by saying, obviously, I was a little bit
Things
hurt.
that were said that I found a little disturbing. I was a little surprised by it,
Okay.
and I was a little hurt by it,
Hurt.
and I wanted to present that to you.
Okay. Explain on what was said to you.
Now, my biggest issue here is that, Blake, when you decided to pull her across, you should have known that you're going to have to talk about the situation, right? Now, I get the fact that her energy might not have been so receptive and might have been a little bit stone cold, but you should have been ready for that particular situation. Thank you, Jess Preezy. I'll speak on that in a second, right? You know, you should have been ready to go in there and talk and explain your side to Jefferi. So when you get there and then you go, do you know what I'm talking about? And then say, actually, I don't want to say anything because, you know, I wasn't there. It's like, well, then why did you pull me over for a chat? Because then I can't address what you're asking me to address. Like, I may have an idea and, you know, I may have a thought process as to why you're feeling the way you're feeling, but I can't guarantee and be sure. So then you put me in a difficult position because now you want me to answer, or at least it wasn't a question, actually, to be fair. He didn't actually ask her a question. He told her a statement. He said, I was a little bit hurt by what you said, right? By what you have said and what's come back to me as feedback. And that's cool. That's fine. Not a problem at all. But then you have to then say what that feedback was that was hurt. And now, of course, he may be thinking he's going to blow up Suan a little bit by saying the feedback. But everybody knows Suan went to talk to him about the situation. So it doesn't matter about Suan telling him anything because Suan has already told you what the group already said. She told you the feedback. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, when you get to Jefferi and you're having that conversation, you know, you should have a conversation and be like, hey, this is what happened. You said X, Y, and Z, and I told Sue that this didn't happen. Now, my issue that I'm having here with Blake is that, and maybe it's editing, but I'm saying at no one point did you tell her that you never said those lines. That's my issue now, because now, listen, I don't like the way the energy she brought to you. I'll be honest with you. I did not like the energy that Jefferi brought to Blake. I didn't like it. I felt like it was not receiving of what he was saying to you. But at the same time, I was like, bro, you are here to address the fact she said something about you and it's categorically not true. Why not address it? Right? That you could have told her, and it wouldn't have to be an argument. You could have said, listen, hey, you know what was said, this and that, this wasn't true, right? X, Y, and Z, this wasn't true. But you never said that. Instead, you shut down. Now, I'm not saying that people don't shut down in arguments, but what I am saying is, oh boy, you told us that you were about to put in boundaries, and then suddenly you go limp. Then also, we've seen you argue with Conveyor before earlier on, and with Conveyor, you know, you had a back and forth. Now, it wasn't you weren't necessarily being rude or anything, but you were having a back and forth with Conveyor, talking about broken houses and broken children and all that stuff, and you were easily able to talk about it, right? Back and forth. It was Conveyor that actually ended up folding. So now I'm surprised that you get to Jefferi, and then you get to Jefferi, and then you don't follow through. Now, again, it may have been that, and I got my own theories about why potentially he may not have done this, but then why didn't you actually tell Jefferi that this is what it was? Because you already know that Suan's told you what happened. You already know that Suan's going to give you the feedback, because that's what you're meant to do. That's the whole point of a feedback date. They give you the feedback, right? So, in that instance, I was a little bit like, okay, I don't get it, right? This
They were. Do you know what was said?
I need to know exactly what you're referencing. So can you again tell me where you were hurt?
I would prefer not to get into.
So you're hurt.
So of course he lets her know that obviously, look, I prefer not to get into it. And I think it's almost like he gets to a point and he realized, I think he realized at that point he ain't gonna get what he needs to get at that point. Maybe as well at the same time, maybe he realized, he ain't gonna get what he's gonna get, right? Because at that point he literally backed down and said, you know what? It is what it is. Right? It is what it is. And then when she went on to say as well, why are we here? Let me get that clip for you guys. Let me see if I can get. I hope I got.
How am I going to answer your questions?
I'm just sitting here and letting you know that I just felt a type of way about something that may happen.
Clip. I got the right one. Sorry, guys. I got the wrong clip. Can you tell me where? Yes.
So can you again tell me where you were hurt?
I would prefer not to get into.
So you're hurt and you're disturbed, but yet you can't bring up the things that you're hurt.
Being that I wasn't there, being that I was not there.
That's the wrong clip as well. I wanted the actual clip where she says, then why are we actually here? Because she said a very good question. Says, why are we actually here? And when she actually asked that question, why are we actually here? All right. This is when he decides, you know what? Let me calm down. Layla, been a minute still, baby. Good to see you, B. Good to see you. Yeah, once he says, why are you talking to me? And that's when he realizes, why am I actually talking? And that's why I said, I don't think he's a narcissist. I think personally, he's got some really deep emotional issues though, right? That have not been sorted as to why he's had 3 baby mothers at 3 different times. And there's some severe issue that needs to be sorted out. Narcissist, I think it's a stretch, but I think there's definitely some wounds there, right? And this is
what are you hearing? Why are you talking with me right now?
Good question. I probably should.
So you want me to figure out what's wrong with you?
No, I don't.
Without you telling me.
What I want you to do is we'll agree to just leave it alone.
Now, I think that was an important scene because if at that particular point in time, I watch his body language, and I'm telling you this now, someone who's a narcissist, like they tried to if it was a narc, the way he would have handled that would have been. And of course, I've learned as over the years with a lot of the panelists who've helped me as well see different points of views and stuff like that. We have the covert narc and the overt narc, right? And if it was a covert narc, the way he would have twisted this would have been through more of an emotional aspect. It would have been more of an emotional aspect, and he would have tried to twist it in a particular way. But that looked like the brother was hurting, bro. That looked like the brother was like he got shot down. And I'm not even blaming Jefferi. I'm saying to myself, it didn't look like he had any strength in that particular scenery. Didn't look like he had any strength at all. He didn't try to elevate. He didn't try to make her the villain. He didn't try to like twist it. None of that came to his mind. And that's why I said I don't think he's a narc, because none of that came to his mind. Even a manipulator would have thought to himself, try and twist this to my. He didn't even do that. He said, listen, do you know what? You're right. I don't even know why I'm here. Right? I don't even know why you know what? You're right. If I'm not going to address it, you're absolutely right. Why am I here? And you know what? Let's agree to this. Let's agree to say, let's not even mention it anymore. Let me just say I'm not going to mention it anymore, because if I mention it, you know what? I can't talk on it, so then I'm going to look stupid. So let me just leave it as it is, right? And I think partly also because he's going to have to actually expose Suan as well in that. You're going to have to expose that as well, right? You're going to have to expose Suan to that situation. I've already said this before. I don't think he particularly likes Suan as much as he did. But I do think he's one of those people. I want to explain. There's a type of guy or girl. There's a type of people that, are very tunnel-minded when it comes to relationships, right? And when they like somebody, right? that's all, that's it. They're focusing on one person. They can't open themselves to anybody else. And the reason is the fear of hurt and betrayal. Um, I thought, if anything, if we are going to call him anything, I thought either, someone said it's socially awkward. I thought he might even be, if you want to talk about anything, he potentially could be on the spectrum, but I didn't think he was a narc. And then I think what also was interesting, about him too, is I really do feel like we've heard from Jefferi's point of view, which is that he's somebody who, you know what, he bottled down straight at Jefferi, right? And said she's the one. I don't think she's lying, personally. I think he said those lines. I think he's a person who, when he likes something, he goes for it full tilt. The problem is he can't back out. And that makes him go straight at the person. I think Jefferi let him know that it's too much, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, when you get hurt, these people that go in 100 miles per hour and go at 100% at somebody, when they feel any type of rejection or they feel they've been hurt by somebody, it's like a betrayal for them. You understand? It's like a betrayal for them. And I think that was also part of why, potentially also why, when he why he got a gift for Suan. And I don't want to go too deep into it because, like I said, I've done other videos where I've broken it down and I don't want to overdo the work twice or three times. But I think the gift given for Suan, when he says what he says to Suan is, I was on the bottom, okay, you know, and I was on the bottom, and you know what, you basically, you know, helped me in a sense, right? And he's showing that, you know, I really appreciate that. You know, so I think in that, what you see is that he appreciates people that will back him. I don't think he has many people that do that for him. I don't think he has many people that back him. I don't think he has many people that support him. And I think just seeing Suan go to bat for him, he was greatly appreciative. Now, does he like her the way I don't think he likes her like that. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he likes her like that, but I definitely feel he appreciates the fact that she'll go to bat for him. But I can also see how this gift could be manipulation, but I'll drop another video for that. I'll drop another video for that as well. That's another video we can talk about at another time, right? But then obviously, Jefferi and the Suan situation, and that's where now we're gonna get a little bit techie. First and foremost, let's see if I can find a clip. Yes. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Suan, open up. Why? Where is the clip? I might have lost the clip. Let's see.
I think it just comes down more to you're caught in what? So I think he was just caught in the whole strategic way that he's been kind of wanting this journey to go.
Okay, so we start with the situation where she said, obviously, I feel like he's caught. And you know, I feel like you know, in a situation, I can see where Jefferi's coming from, but I also can see where Blake is coming from. I really do feel like you know what, Blake may be misunderstood, and I also think there's some awkwardness there, and I think that's why you know, I think that's why partly there's an issue there. Like I said, I'm not saying that he's not controlling, because like I said, the way he addressed it with Suan told me that he definitely got some controlling vibes. We're not debating that at all. I think what we are saying though is that there may be also 2 on 10, you know, 10 on 2 that, you know, Jefferi's also adding to the situation. I think Jefferi interprets things the way she wants to interpret things. And it's interesting also because you know, Demario also has been also out for his controlling now. We've seen by the clip as well. So that's another issue in itself. But I think obviously this situation here, I think she interprets certain things, and maybe she has had a controlling past before, but that can also make you oversensitive to certain things that get said to you, and you can take it in an extra way. All right, so that can also happen. So that it's both sides. We can see that it could be, you know what, she could be extra sensitive and hypersensitive to any man that has any kind of influctuations or any inflictions, I should say, maybe of that controlling energy, right? Which we know that he does have because he's pretty much admitted it. That can make her feel like she's triggered again, and that can make her see anything he begins to say or do now as a particular thing. Because, like I said, if I said to you, you know what are you doing after? You know, what are you doing after a date? You know, are you doing anything after the date? Like me and you gonna chill? Like, do you know what I mean? I could just be doing too much, and you could feel like I'm controlling you. I can literally be doing and saying too much. I could be too much on you, and here's the thing. Here is why I don't trust Jefferi. The reason why I don't trust Jefferi too, and I don't know if I have the clip. Okay, I don't think I have the clip.
Like, we're sitting down talking. I was just a little confused, and I'm hoping that Sue and Jamario could help me understand him. How are you guys doing?
That's not the clip I was looking for, but I mean, I'll discuss that in a second. The clip I was looking for is when she says, the reason why I'm even talking about this is because he actually said, you know, that, you know, it's only about me. And he said he's going to be inauthentic to every other lady, right? Again, I'm not even really saying that he hasn't said that per se. But then it's like, so the reason why you're telling everybody is because you want to save everybody. It's like, no, sis, you ain't telling them because you feel like he's going to be inauthentic to other women. That's not why you're telling them. And that's when I started realizing, no, you got an agenda yourself. You trying to go on like you being a saint and a hero for the ladies. I was like, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. And no, you ain't. Right? No, you ain't. Right? So my thing is also is I think like you have a little bit of your own agenda, or maybe you're triggered as well. So I'm not saying that Eva is wrong. I'm just saying that I think I can see both sides, you know what I mean? As well. You know, and that's true, Caroline. That's also another thing as well. That clip I just played was exactly that, you know. She wanted to get understanding and then shut down the understanding and then proceeded to call Sue Ann a pick me. Right? Then proceed to call him a pick me. That's very true as well, Mr. Play. This also very true. What if they both had a conversation about strategy? Very true. Right? Yeah. That's very true. Right? So, you know, it's very interesting that she actually started calling out Sue Ann as a pick me. It's like, well, then wouldn't she be a victim? Because unfortunately, in that situation, she also has been blinded by his game. And you're telling us that he's got this tendency to be a narcissist. He's playing her. So she's not a pick me. She's a victim. But then you proceed to call her as a pick me. So, sis, are you really here for the sis? Are you here for the? Are you really here for the female empowerment? You're not here for the female empowerment, which is what I'm trying to say. You're not here for the female empowerment. You have an angle. So that's what I'm also looking at as well. You have an angle as well, right? You have an angle as well. So I'm looking at it. I'm going, no, you got an angle as well. You've got a little bit of an angle as well. You know what I mean? Like you've got your little game going on as well. Okay, sis. All right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I hear you. All right. So then, this is the part here. Let's see this one. That's I want to play this clip as well.
That she's never even been on my list in any lounge. What Jefferi is saying about Blake doesn't affect my connection with him. I think some of us are definitely on this journey, ready to love, and I feel like Jefferi.
Now, here's my thing. The guys also need to also let us know as well, because in the lounges, who has he been picking? Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's also another thing. In the lounge, who has he been picking? That's my question. In the lounge, who has he been picking? Like, who has he been picking? That we can also maybe get an idea too. Because if he's been talking in the men's lounge and not actually picking Jefferi, what's going on there? Why hasn't he mentioned Jefferi amongst the men? Or if he has, then maybe that's also another thing as well, right? Question. So we're trying to find out. Okay. I gotta see who else. 'Cause I can't remember who he picked. All right. Um. As well. So that's another interesting thing as well.
Our ages, I can't read your mind. Life is too old to be playing these games. I'm not interested in being controlled. I don't want a narcissist. I don't want a controlling man that's telling me, who did you go on a date with? Who is your top? I'm still going to talk to Demario. I'm still going to talk.
What she's describing also isn't narcissism. I don't think. Do you see what I'm saying? What she actually noted, and this is the second time she's noted this, by the way. What she's noted isn't narcissism. Maybe controlling, maybe even doing too much, but it isn't necessarily narcissism. If him saying to you, who are you picking, and when you finish a date, who you gonna date with, it could sound a bit more controlling than anything, but there's nowhere near narcissism. Do you know what I'm saying? Nothing she said has shown any level of emotional, verbal kind of like abuse or anything like that, or him like being nasty to her. None of that has actually happened. None of that has actually happened. All that's happened is that he said, hey, what's going to happen with the dates after? So I could rock with the controlling part, because I already told you I agree with that controlling part. So that part, yeah, makes sense. But other than that, you've not mentioned anything that's narcissistic per se. You see what I'm saying? Nothing of the set, So I don't know. Again, he may not see things the way she see things. He may be on the spectrum. Personality disorder is also there as well, guys. Like you said, it may be that as well. And yeah. So I don't know. I'm a little bit like, what is he doing that's being narcissistic? And like, has he messaged you after again? It seems like you guys haven't had any more conversations after this, because you didn't supply any more information after about what he actually did. That for me is the part I'm like, okay, well, like, so after this, after the whole, you spoke to the girls in the lounge, nothing else has been said, nothing else has been spoken about. Like, he hasn't come back to you, he hasn't tried to manipulate you. Even in the scene here that we saw him come talk to you, it's not really manipulative. Like, he shut himself down, he went away, like, yo, and you know what I mean? And then you've gone over and spoke to Jeff, to Demario and Susu. And you said you went over there to understand, and then proceeded not to understand. But that's not to say that Susu wasn't involved and Susu didn't have any part to play in this, because there's a part where Susu just Susu needs to relax. Okay.
Now that you're, this is the thing for me. You couldn't what I would like to know, specifically because of the lounge. Like, hey, oh, I'm listening. I know, but I wanted to finish what I was saying. Okay, I want to help you specifically.
At that point, Susu was just a little bit like, Susu, relax. Like, let her finish her point and then do it, because now it looks like you're championing and trying to really rage for him, and there's no need. Just relax. You know what I mean? So in that instance, you gotta be very careful in that aspect, right? So yeah, Susu was doing a little bit too much in that aspect, and then as soon as she did that, that's when Jefferi then calls her out as being a pick me, and it's like, you know what I mean? It bees like that. You know what I'm saying? So again, I think her attitude as well, and they, you know what, they mentioned about her attitude as well, Jefferi's attitude. They've mentioned about this. Right? They've mentioned about her attitude in the way that she addresses certain things. Her communicational style can be a little bit abrasive, right? They've mentioned that. But they called her out for saying she had shell vibes or something like that, right? There's a shell there. So, like I said, I'm not gonna put everything on Blake too, because the men also said that they feel like, you know what, she's got a shell. So if that's the case, then we have to look a bit deeper. I don't know. That was I don't know. So that's the interesting thing there. But then obviously, like I said, this whole conversation is happening in front of her love interest, Mario. and it's almost as if she's trying to tell Demario like telling Demario about another dude, and it's like it's not gonna work like that. It's not gonna go over great. Demario's got his own issues because we have to talk about Demario, the kiss situation where Butter is feeling some type of way because she kissed somebody else. That's controlling right there. But like I said, there's overt and there's covert. So, you know, Demario's energy about the kiss. He's doing too much when he's saying about the mother. What would the kids think? That's when he did too much. If he felt some type of way about a kiss, I can understand. I'm not going to say I agree, but I can understand why he might have felt some type of way, right? You watch your connection kiss someone else, it gets there. And you're hurt. All you have to do is communicate. But in this instance, yeah, you can't be telling somebody that, you know what would your kids think? That's nuts. Now, what I want to hear is when you go back to the lounge, I want to hear that you call him a narcissist because that's the narcissistic stuff because that's in the same, again, because it's not narcissistic, it's controlling, right? Leave it as controlling. That's a little bit controlling, or what it said it was toxic. That's what it should be called as. Things need to be labeled appropriately. You know, so, you know, I think in that aspect as well, that was interesting. The actual gift situation with Suan.
Ooh, thank you. Wow. Blake surprised me on the boat. He's putting actions with his words.
Now I can see that the gift could potentially be, you know, the gift could potentially be manipulative. I could agree with that. I wouldn't even lie to you. I think the gift can potentially be manipulative. And I'll say this, reason why it can be manipulative. If he never tells Suan after he speaks to Jefferi that he spoke to Jefferi and she's left blindsided, then this gift can look like it's a maneuvering to try and, you know, soften a blow, or even be like, you know what, you're trying to get her onto your side. So I can see how that could look like. It could be that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it is. I'm going to say it could be. You know what I mean? I said it could be. And so, you know, I can see how that potentially could happen, right? Now, we don't know what's been said between Suan, Blake, and Jefferi per se, all the way through. But I can say that, hey, you know what? The gift potentially could be a manipulation because, you know, you're trying to get her, buy her loyalty, but her loyalty was already bought. But this solidifies it, and now whatever thing you have with Jefferi, she gonna back it. But the thing is, because he didn't do much with Jefferi, because he didn't argue with Jefferi, because he didn't say anything to Jefferi, because he didn't really cuss out Jefferi, I'm like, what would there be? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what would there be for Suan to kind of be like brought into? Suan's doing it off her own volition and her own loyalty. But again, I'm open to it. It could be triangulation. I'm not gonna say it is. I can say I'm open to it, but I'm not gonna say it actually is. That's not what I feel at the time of the moment, but it could be. You know what I mean? It could be. You know, it could be a little bit of a play. You know what I mean? Like, it could be. I'm not gonna say it isn't. I'm saying it could be. You know. There was one scene I want to talk about really quickly. I don't want to go too deep because, like I said, I want to do a separate live for all you guys so we can break it down. Let me see if I can find it, and hopefully I'll get it right. The right scene. Cheat. Hopefully, get it. Okay. I think this is it.
I'm gonna start with Lyndon.
Oh,
That's right. Go ahead, girl. That's right. And then I'm gonna say Marcy.
Can we talk about this scene here? Listen, can I be honest with you? 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 Doctor, I hear you, but having narc tendencies doesn't mean you're actually a narcissist. I think that's the difference. If someone's got narc tendencies, doesn't mean they're actually narcissists. Everybody's got narc tendencies. That wouldn't make everybody a narcissist. Children have narc tendencies. They're not narcs. So that's why I was saying we have to make a differentiation between the two. Can't just be labeling people narcs. I think that's just irresponsible to do that. Just that's because of how we feel. Because it's such a harsh labeling. You can't, if you're a narc, you actually, there is no cure for being a narcissist. Like if you're actually diagnosed as a narcissist, there's no comeback. So I think labeling people that 100% for me is a little bit much. You know what I mean? I don't know, but anyway, that's just my personal point of view. I'm saying everyone can have their point of view. You know, no one's being too bad about it. But I honestly, listen, let me come back. Let me come back to it. Right? Let me come back to it though. Let me come back to it. I love Morgan, but this scene here was outrageous, absolutely egregious.
I'm gonna start with Lyndon.
Ooh. That's right. Go ahead, girl.
That's right. And then I'm gonna say Marcy.
How is she gonna choose Lyndon? Let me tell you something. Yeah, when she did this, I said, Morgan, I hope you know what you're doing. Because men struggle to forget. I'm just gonna tell you, men struggle to forget when they get publicly humiliated. You know you're feeling Tony and you like Tony, and Tony's the one, and you wanted a bit more attention. That's fine. But then for you to choose Lyndon, and you know, I said, baby, I hope you know I hope this works in your favor, because it could, depending on the kind of guy that Morgan is. I mean, the kind of guy Tony is. It could work, but it also could actually become an issue. You know what I mean? It could also become an issue, because now you saying this, he can take it and be like, all right, that's the kind of game we're playing. Let the games begin. You've now begun a game for what reason? What reason? What reason did you begin the game? Because you thought he was too smooth. You couldn't even prove that. Oh man. When I said that, I said, oh no. I said, baby, men's pride, let's not initiate it. It's stupid. Public stuff like this, I advise women to stay away from. Like, listen, play the game. You can have your little game, whatever. But when you touch on men's ego, especially in public, trust me, it doesn't usually end well. Like, it doesn't usually end well. Like, I can promise you. I'm not saying that them two don't end up together, because we saw next week, right? But I'm talking long term. I'm not talking now. See, this is the thing. I'm not talking short term. I'm talking long term. Whenever I talk about these situations, I ain't talking about the short term, because a Negro will get excited for the short term, and in the long term, he's already been plotting, and it's a downfall. Right? We don't forget. Right? So that's why I asked myself the question, Morgan, do you want attention or do you want security? The two can be they come together, but the two of them are not the same. Do you want attention or do you want security? Because when you were talking to Tony, it was about security, and you said it was attention. Whilst I think your attention was a part of it, what you really were asking for was security. It wasn't attention. You see me? I'm telling you, right? Someone said Tony got something for her, right? So for me, I'm telling you, like, literally, in a situation, she wants security from Tony. What she wants is to know that she's the only one. That's what she really wants. The truth of the matter is, she can't trust his word to being the truth one. I have clips, but I don't know which one it is because I haven't labeled this one. Kai, I hope I'm going to go through it. Let me just get one or two of them.
To each word.
I don't know.
See, there it is. That I don't know it. That's concerning you. I'm telling you, that's not okay. Stop that. I'm telling you.
See, what he said there was, look, you think I'm going round, right? And she said, I don't know. So you don't have any evidence if he's actually telling other women that he wants them, but then you accuse him of going to other women and trying to say that he wants them all. And I said, no. That is insecurity. That's insecurity. Because if you can't say confidently, oh, the ladies have said that you were saying that you wanted them, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, but you're just judging off the fact that he's got good energy, he vibes with women, he has an easy about to talk to women, he can easily get on with women and have good conversations and make them feel comfortable. Why are you accusing him of the thing that you can't prove? if the ladies are saying he's amazing, if the ladies are saying he's great, the lady said he's a good talker, do you know what it is? He's just too smooth. That's got that. Then say that. You know what? You're very smooth, and sometimes people that are smooth are oftentimes can be bad guys. But then don't accuse him of actually telling every woman when you know that's not necessarily the truth. And that's what I'm saying to you. This is gonna crash. It will eventually crash. It will eventually crash. It will eventually crash because once you start digging deeper and you start realizing there's actually some insecurity there, you're gonna start feeling some type of way. You know what I mean? So now the situation that's happening between now obviously the situation with Tony and Morgan, of course he's very smooth, he's very charming, etc., etc. But I'm saying to you, Morgan, if you know you can't, and this, I said, didn't I say this the other day? Didn't I say this the other day? I said to you guys, if you meet somebody, right, and you know that you're feeling them too much, that you can't be objective about what that person is, you need to leave them alone. They're not for you. I said that yesterday when we were doing a live. I said, if you cannot be objective about someone because they're too smooth, too nice, too whatever, and you can't be objective about how you're judging them, this is probably not the person you need to be with, because you're never going to be objective with them ever until it's too late. If it gets to that stage. You know what I mean? I was like, yo. So I was like, okay, listen. So then you decide that if you can't trust him that he's talking to other women, so you want to no, deep the logic. Deep it. You don't think that you think he might be talking to other women, telling them he wants them. Then you decide you're going to play the game also as well. What do you think he's going to do? Choose you or play more of the game? Might as well just play your game. You must just do you rather than playing your game. Might as well just do you. By the way, I'm not saying that Tony isn't all talk, by the way. I ain't gonna say that, but I'm just saying oh crap. I said you might just go about your business. No point stressing. Choosing Lyndon. I'm telling you, men's ego, it's a bad. This I told you about men's ego, how dark it is. Well, then after this situation, what will happen? You end up pretending that you like her, end up sleeping with her, and then finishing. Oh, do you know what? It didn't work out. Do you know what? It would have been great, but but you know what? Your confidence, because you don't trust me. Now all the excuses that were meant to be coming out are gonna come out after he's completed his assignment and got with you. Don't listen. Playing a game that there's no necessary. Just be straight. Once you be straight, you can then judge what other people do. I was like, yeah. But that doesn't mean I trust Tony, by the way, guys. No. Like I said, I'm going to break all of this down. I don't want to go too deep. I'm going to break all of this down for you guys. But that doesn't mean I trust him. I'll tell you why I don't trust him. There's a scene here. Hopefully I get the right one.
I don't feel like he takes the initiative.
Hold on.
You tell everybody you want him?
That's not true. You believe that? You honestly think
The one either.
A strong connection. However, I'm looking for that easy flow.
Damn, I ain't gonna write clip, people. Hold on.
And I need to know that I'm special to him, not just a fish, and he's throwing his net and see which one he catches. I think you're husband material.
appreciate that.
He's just a hot commodity. They see what I see. Everybody want my baby.
All right, I mean.
All right, so that wasn't the clip, people, guys. I thought I had the clip, and it's so annoying that I don't have the clip, man. The clip I was looking for, right? They're talking, and then she begins to mention about she wants to be on a boat. In fact, let me just bring it up on my screen. I know exactly where it is, so I'm gonna do it. Right? She wants to be on a boat, right? She wants to be on a boat. Being able to buy a boat, talk on a boat, whatever. Can she, whatever? Can she be on this boat? And he was just like, yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want. And I said, nah, this goon, he is terrible, bruv. He is terrible. Like I said, nah. It was just that one thing. I said, no, 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 no. I said, nah, get this guy out of here. He's ready to play the game. Let me see if I can get it up. Let me see.
You want me to try to go? I like blending and
I got it. I got it.
I'm a little.
All right, guys. I got the clip. Okay. This is the part, guys. It's the part. Let's get to it. And play it.
So you can vote? Yes, absolutely. You want to make the vote? Whatever you want me to try to vote? Whatever you want. I like blending and.
Y'all didn't hear that, right? He think he's slick, but I know, my senses are tingling. Yeah, my player code senses are tingling. When and that's very true, Kitty Hayes. That's very, very true. Morgan is hitting out, and that's why I said that it's not going to end well. She was saying, "Oh, you're gonna get a boat?" He's like, "Whatever you want." He's like, "I can ride a boat, whatever you want." I said, "Nah, this Negro, no, this Negro, whatever you want." I said, "No." When they start doing whatever you want like that, and he doubled up on it, I said, "This Negro, you got to be careful of those ones, baby. Okay, that wasn't even a proper answer. Whatever you want, baby. Can I buy this? It's £1 million. Whatever you want. Can I put it on your credit card? Whatever you want. Oh, can we get a puppy now? Whatever you want. Negro, please. Y'all ain't about to play me. No. You can have whatever you like. Yeah. No. You are not about to play me like that. Like this, like that. Yeah, like this, like that. Nah, mate. Yeah. He says anything to get by. You know what I mean? Anything to get by. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to do too much. Like I said, I don't want to spoil my reviews. We've got a super panel later on tonight as well. I'm gonna put it up on the community page. If you have something to say about Ready to Love, you want to have your say, this is the night to do it. Okay. If you have you have your say, you want to be able to say your piece, tonight is the night to do it. We do need cams up though. Listen, guys, I love you, but we're on YouTube, not on Clubhouse. If you want to come up, okay? If you got something to say, you want to say your piece, there's a couple that you want to talk about, there's somebody you're Ready to Love that you're like, I need to talk to them, I have to have my say about them, then by all means, we want to hear your voice later on tonight, okay? You want to hear your voice later on tonight as well, because it's important. And don't forget as well, join our Discord through Patreon as well. We want to see you guys on our Patreon and get involved with the Discord and come and have your say as well. Man, y'all crazy out here. Okay, y'all crazy out here. Someone said, did I tell someone on when I was out and about, whatever you want? Yeah. And then after I said, but just let you know, the card has a limit, and when it reaches the limit, we washing dishes. That's what I said. Okay. Say what if we're opinionated, not ugly, code. No, listen, we love all opinions around here. So long as you're respectful, people are always gonna be respectful to you. People want respectful people. If you're respectful, the audience will be respectful. You know what I mean? But if you start cussing people's looks and stuff, that's when they start getting you. Okay? Yeah, I don't want you to do that. Okay? Come and tell us how you feel about what you saw and the behavior you saw. That's what we want to talk about. You understand? Yeah? Not about the fact that you hate them. We want to hear about behavior. Okay? All right? Okay, that's what we need to do. All right. Someone said, who flew me out? Listen, don't worry about who's flying me out, darling. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm ready to be flown out again, guys. I'm ready to be flown out again. If you're ready to fly me out, listen, just hit me up. I'm ready to fly out. Okay? I'm ready to fly out. I know the rules of being flown out. So listen, I don't be talking. You know what I'm saying? I won't be telling nobody nothing. You want to fly me out? Just enter my DMs, guys. Okay? I'm ready to be flown out. Wherever you like. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, listen, it's much appreciated. We're going to see you a little bit later on when we have our super panel. I probably can't spell very well. But we have a super panel later on tonight. So if you have something to say, make sure you join us later on tonight for the super panel and come and tell us what you want. Okay. All right. Oh, man. Caribbean, you are moving absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Instead of you to hit me up so we can fly out, look what you're telling me. Okay, look what you're telling me. Tina asks, what time are we doing the live? Sorry, you're right. What should I say? Wait, what's it? 5 hours. Yeah, 8 p.m. EST. So 8 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. CST is when we kick off, guys. Okay. So tonight, that's what time we're starting. Also, someone gave us a super chat, and I just need to read it out. Sorry. Jay's Prezi said, honestly, Denise from season 3 made Narcissist the thing to say from Ready to Love. Now all of a sudden, everybody says it. Shout out to JS Prezi for the super chat. We appreciate you. Honestly, we do. And never be afraid to send us a super chat, guys. We appreciate it. We will read out your super chats as well. Yes, the DMs are open. I am single, guys. Okay. All right. I'm not mingling. I am mingling. I'm not sure if I'm mingling. Well, depending. You give the right offer, I might be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Katie Rollins said basically 8:45 EST. More than likely, yeah, Katie. You know what I mean? You know how we like to make, we open the doors at 8. I need to start changing it. We open the doors at 8 p.m. EST. You know what I mean? All right. We get the doors open by 8 p.m. EST. That's what we're saying. The doors are open at that time. All right. Listen, I'm out of here. Okay. All right. I'm out of here. Thank you, El Cid. Tell them again. We appreciate you. All right. So we'll see you again very, very soon. Much love and appreciation.